What's going on YouTube? KG here, back with another Transformers Forged to Fight video, and today we are going to discuss the topic of forging. A few weeks ago, I seen a lot of posts, a lot of comments, a lot of chatter about this topic, and I thought, man, that would make like a really good YouTube video to do like Forging 101. And I posted on Line App, on Facebook, and even on Reddit to say like, hey, I want some help, like who knows a lot about forging or who here has experienced forging. And after a few days, like I pretty much got zero response. Nobody on Facebook. I had one guy reach out to me online and then nobody on Reddit. Then about a week after all of my attempts, Forged to Fight on Twitter, Kabam Miike reached out to me and said, hey man, we would love to answer your questions. I've talked to the development team and we think this video is a great idea. We would love to answer any questions that you have on forging. So me and him went back and forth a little bit, and then he came back with, you know, kind of this guide, Forging 101, guide to forging, and I thought that was pretty awesome of them to do. So say what you want about Kabam, say what you want about Kabam Miike, but this was a really cool thing that he did for the community, a cool way that he helped me to be able to get this information to you so we can know what there is to know about forging. So let's jump into it. What is forging? Forging, like ranking up, is just another progression line where lower tiered bots are consumed in order to power up higher tier bots. And if you come from Marvel Contest of Champions background, you know in there you can sell champions. And if you sell champions, then you get ISO and you get gold, and then you get shards for the next level of champion. But that's kind of it. Like, the payout really isn't worth it, because Marvel Contest of Champions, you actually get more out of keeping your champions and then duplicating them than you ever would by selling them. So in Marvel Contest of Champions, never sell champions, but in Forged to Fight, when you forge them, not only do you get a payout of ore, gold, and crystal shards, but this also allows you to raise the attack, the health, and the class power of the target bot or mod that you're forging into. So all of these payouts, all those payouts are increased based on the rank level and the signature ability level of the bot that you are forging. Now, all of these rules apply to bots and to mods, but for the sake of the video, so I don't have to say or mods and mods, I'm just gonna say bots, but know that I'm also referring to mods as well. So who can you forge? That's a big question. You can forge any lower tier bots into any higher tier bots, but only lower tier. So if you got a 3-star, then you can forge into them 2 and 1. If you got a 2, you can forge into them 1. Can't forge anything into 1-star because there's nothing lower than that. It is also worth noting that when you forge a 1-star bot, you do not gain any crystal shards as a result. When you forge a 2-star bot, you gain 3-star crystal shards, 3-star bot, 4-star crystal shards. When you forge a 1-star bot, you do not gain any crystal shards as a result of that. When you forge, it raises the attack and the health, and that makes sense, right? You're gonna have more powerful attack, you're gonna have more health, but I mentioned something else called class power. What exactly is class power? Well, that is an attribute that every bot has that defines how powerful of a class advantage it has. So we understand class advantages. Class power defines how much of that class advantage you have. So this actually grows with your bot. So the higher the class power, the more your attack increases and the more your opponent's attack decreases when you have that specific class advantage. If you want to unlock the maximum potential of a target bot, you must consume the same bot one tier down. In doing this, you raise the max forge level of the target from 75 to 100. So the max forge level is 75 for every bot in the game. But when you consume, let's say I got my 3-star Ironhide, if I consume a 2-star Ironhide, it automatically raises that max forge level from 75 to 100. And that's permanent. Also, in doing this, you gain bonus forge XP. Another way to gain bonus forge XP is by forging the same class as the target. So kind of like, you know, an ore, if you use an ore of the specific class, you gain ore XP. So the ore is even greater because you're using specific classes. Same thing works in this. You gain a class advantage in forging XP if you use the same class or if you use the exact same bot. I know some people have been worried about forging. I've seen videos and I've seen comments where people say that forging isn't worth it because I'm putting all of my resources into these lower tier bots. Why would I want to forge them into our higher tier bots? Like, I'm going to lose all of that. But actually, you don't lose anything that you've put into your bots. Or some people may even be worried, like, why do I even want to forge into my 3-star bots now? Because, you know, maybe I'll save my 2-star, my 1-stars to forge into my 4-stars because I'm going to get 4-stars later. But you don't lose any progress. So if I'm forging into my 3-star bot, whatever that forge level is, 100% of that forging XP will carry over into my new target. So whenever I forge that 3-star Ironhide into a 4-star Ironhide, all of that forge XP carries over into my 4-star. So it's still worth it for me to forge into my 3-stars now, knowing that later I will get greater bots. And it's okay to put that stock into my 1 and 2-star bots because whatever I do to them is going to carry over into my 3-stars. And this is kind of the main benefit of forging. As you play and progress in this game, you learn that you will lean on specific bots more than the other bots. Like, I kind of use the same bots for everything. It's like I really don't use anything else outside of that right now because I don't have that strong of a roster. So I lean on my greatest bots. Forging ensures that my weaker bots aren't wasted. So right now in my profile, I have all of these 1 and 2-star bots that I'm doing absolutely nothing with. And if you come from an MCOC background, then you know this more than ever. In Marvel Contest of Champions, I have 214 champions, and yet I only use like 20 of them. So almost 200 of my champions in Marvel Contest of Champions just set in my roster for absolutely no reason other than to have this collection of champions. So forging in Transformers Forged to Fight ensures that none of those bots are ever obsolete because you can use them to make the bots that you lean on even stronger. Before Kabam Miike reaching out to me, I kind of didn't know where I stood on this, but after some research and after reading through his stuff and seeing other stuff in posts, it's kind of a no-brainer for me that forging is kind of the way to go. Now maybe not forge all of my bots. I still want to have strong arena teams and I still want to have a base, all of that, but some of these unnecessary bots that I never use, it's kind of a no-brainer to go ahead and forge those into my greater bots. But this isn't just about me, it's about you as well. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about forging? Do you actively do this? Do you think it's a waste of resources? But don't just say, no, I hate it, or yes, I love it. Like, give me some reasons behind that. Give me an argument for or against forging. I also want to give a huge shout out to the team over at Forged to Fight, specifically Kabam Miike, for reaching out to me, for providing me with some of this information. Definitely a cool move on your part, for caring enough about the community to get this information out to us so that we can have a better understanding of this game that we really do love. And so I definitely thank you for that. That's it for this video on forging. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you guys later. Peace.